Hello everyone, I'm Jaden, and today I will share you our research about the effects of noise on the auditory sensitivity of the bluegill sunfish. So first, I want to introduce you the bluegill sunfish. It is an important sport fish in the USA, and it is a teleoid fish, and the last one is the important one. It is a hearing generalist fish. I will explain hearing generalist fish later. But first, let me talk about its habitat. It's almost the whole United States, so we do our research in the USA. And why did we do this research? Because there is a huge amount of noise in the underwater environment. And we noticed that fishes react differently to the noise, like fleeing or stopping or even approaching to the noise source. These three kinds of reactions very different. So we think noise itself may not be the main effects on the auditory capability of fishes. And where is the noise from? Noise will from maybe these four kinds and many activities. So these all provide a huge amount of noise to the ocean. And let me introduce the auditory capability. Take human, ourselves, for example. The frequency of sounds we can hear is about 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz. But in our daily life, the sounds we can hear about 125 hertz to 8,000 hertz. So when you go to the hospital to test your hearing ability, they will use different type of frequency, but take one, for example, like 2 kilohertz. They will enlarge the volume of the sounds and, for example, 40 decibel, and this person will react to this sound. So we call the auditory threshold of this person of 2 kilohertz is 40 decibel. It means above 40 decibel, this person will hear this sound. But below this 40 decibel, this person will not hear this sound. So let me introduce the hearing generalist fish and hearing specialist fish. Hearing generalist fish is fish with a narrower bandwidth of hearing, like the fish above the blue line. Okay, and most species are hearing generalist fish. And hearing specialist fish is fish with a broader hearing range, like these three types of hearing range. Okay? And before we do the experiments, we have to prepare the bluegill sunfish, and we control it in a range of total length, wet body weight, and keep it into a quiet environment. And we also need to prepare the tool to collect the data. So we need ABR recording technique. And take human, for example, again. The baby has the same situation like the fish because they don't speak and they don't tell us, oh, I hear this sound. So we need to use the ABR test to test the nerve of hearing of its brain. Okay? So we have to record the nerve of hearing part of its brain of fish in response to the sounds. Okay? And it just know, oh, it hear the sound, but we also need to know what volume of the sounds it heard. So we need to put a hydrophone near the head of the fish It is used to monitor the sound pressure levels of the sounds. And the sound pressure level is the volume of the sound, and its unit is decibels. And also we need a white noise exposure. It is simulates noise made by people. And it is in a bandwidth of 0.3 to 2 kilohertz at 142 decibels. And look at this picture. The x-axis is frequency and the y-axis is sound pressure levels. And this is just to, take for example, this black dot line is bluegill sunfish's hearing threshold, its baseline. So our white noise exposure have to above the baseline of its hearing threshold. Okay? So we choose 142 decibels. And our experiment 1, we want to know the immediate effects of white noise. So we put the fish exposed to various duration of noise, like 2 hours, 4 hours, and 24 hours in different frequency. And the second experiment, we want to know the recovery after 24 hours exposure. What is recovery? We may not imagine recovery of hearing easily. So take our sight, our eye, for example. When we go out and see a strong light, and then we close the eyes and go indoor the room, and we will see, oh, the living room is dark. But maybe 10 seconds it will be bright, right? So again, it's the recovery of our sight. And the result of the experiment 1 is we want to know immediate effect of white noise, right? So this picture, the x-axis is frequency, and the y-axis is sound pressure levels. And this is this time's experiment, bluegill sunfish. And this kind of species is fathead minnow, and it is a previous research of our research. Okay, and it is a hearing specialist fish, and bluegill sunfish is hearing generalist fish. So we can see that it is the change of hearing threshold. And bluegill sunfish has a very small change, maybe 0 to 5 decibels, but the hearing specialist fish will change a lot, like 10 decibel to 20 decibel. Okay? So we know that the noise made by people may raise the hearing specialist fish's authority threshold, like this line. Okay? And hearing generalist fish, hearing thresholds evaluation will affect less than hearing specialist fish, like this line. Okay? And the second experiment, we want to know recovery after 24 hours exposure. But this picture, the x-axis is different timeline, like the baseline, the 24 hours noise exposure, and recovery 1 day, 2 day, 4 day, 6 day. And the y-axis is the volume of the sound, the hearing threshold. And it is mixed, so we take one line to see. Okay, we see that, oh, it's a little evaluation of the hearing threshold, but recovery is not a rule. So there is no obvious recovery phenomenon happen. Okay, so in our conclusion, most species are hearing generalish fish, as I said, and they are affected by the noise made by human, less than hearing speechless fish. So combine the results obtained from this study, bluegill sunfish, and a previous study, fathead minnows. We provide evidence to support the hypothesis that a noise source does not affect all fishes equally. Thank you for listening.
And I think compared to last time, the presentation today looked very different, and you explained some incomprehensible terms, but still terms did not explain. But I think the background of beauty is too fancy that I have difficult to read the sentence.
I think he used many pictures and many examples to explain the difficult words and figures.
He's still holding an excellent stage performance, and nice intro, some access for figures, and conclusion, in my opinion, is still the same. It's still the same, so I think it can be easier. And your introduction is pretty clearly, and to let me know what did you do and the background. So I think it's nice.